Welcome in to the Master's Class for Naturalistas and Graylistas. I'm Latanya Davis, your host, and today we're going to walk you through some amazing information to help you have a wonderful hair care journey. To begin this, I want to begin with a quote. In order for any type of change to occur, one must be willing to think on a different level and view from a different perspective. Let's get into it. We're not going to talk about 3C, 4A, or 4C because our ancestors didn't do it. Instead, we're going to talk about it in a way where we're going to learn about our hair in terms of it being wavy, curly, or coily. I'm Latanya, and I'm here today to talk to you about what are the best ways that we can be able to represent our hair as Black women in society today. Here's some things about me that you need to know. My hair is coily, I have high porosity, and I love a good wash and go. I am 9 years natural. My favorite movie is The Best Man, all of them. I'm a natural hair educator and an entrepreneur. The outcomes today are that I will be able to identify types of natural hair, define porosity, examine a wash day plan, and build a maintenance plan. So I wanted to kick it off by sharing my hair story with you. Number one, I felt like I was charged too much money in salons because my hair was always long. Everyone loved to do my hair, and I would go into the hair salons to get relaxers, not really knowing that relaxers was not the thing I needed to do. Not only that, I was also a new mom and I no longer wanted to actually be in salons all day. I had things to do. I had groceries to buy. And hey, I may have wanted to go to the movies. But being a mom, I just didn't want to spend that much money anymore and also not that much time. So I decided to go into a barbershop today and cut it all off. That's right, I cut all my hair off. And I knew that my hair would grow back. And within 6 weeks, it grew back. And I had to figure out what was I going to do to become natural. I went into the stores and saw all these products. I was very overwhelmed because I really didn't know where to begin. I didn't even know anything about porosity and texture. I knew none of that stuff because I didn't grow up learning that stuff, right? None of us did. But as I began to learn my hair and to do research and to find out more about what did work, I became more natural in understanding my hair. And so I began to educate more people. Not only that, in the process, I got stopped every single day with someone asking me, do I have a hair care line? What do I do for my natural hair? And compliment upon compliment upon compliment. And I really appreciated and thanked people so much. Something else that's unique about my hair story is that my actual gray hair began when I was in high school. Yes, my strands began when I was in high school, not as an adult. And so as a result, I technically have always had gray hair. It just came into full confidence, in my adulthood. And what was interesting about it is that every single person in my immediate family has gray hair early. So we call it premature gray. So all my siblings have gray hair. My mom has gray hair, and so do I. And so a lot of people, when they meet me, they are so shocked to see that my eyebrows are one color or my hair is a different color. And sometimes they mistake me for being a grandmother when I'm not that yet. But that is a part of my hair story. And I want to share that with you because I've always loved my hair. I loved my hair when it was black. I loved my hair when it's gray. And I've always had just this wonderful affinity for my crown. And no one ever had to really tell me that my hair was different. And so I did not have the same experience that a lot of us do with our hair. And so that is why I chose to start my hair academy and all the things that I do around natural women's hair. So I wanted to go ahead and kick it off by focusing on a topic that's super important to us, our hair types. There are two things you always want to know about your hair type or your texture, and also your hair porosity. When you know those two, you have a game-changing plan for your hair. So I no longer use 1, 2, 3, and 4, and A, B, and C to define my hair. This is because I did research and I learned that our ancestors did not do it either. What they did was they explained our hair according to how the hair texture looks. So either our hair was wavy or curly or coily or classic and straight. Wavy hair means that your hair forms a gentle S shape. It doesn't coil tightly, but it often feels light. Curly hair is defined loops or ringlets that are more spiral-like. They tend to frizz and shrink when it's dry. Coily hair is tight, small curls or zigzags that naturally shrink a lot when dry. It needs the most moisture and gentle care, and that's my hair. I'm a coily girl. Let's talk about porosity. So porosity is how your hair drinks water. Think of it that way. Porosity is about how well your hair absorbs and holds moisture. So there are three types. We have low porosity, medium porosity, and high porosity. Here's a quick test to tell where your hair lies. Take a piece of your strand and place it in water. If it sinks to the bottom, it's high porosity. If it stays on the top, it is low porosity. And of course, in the middle is medium. But let's break these down. Low porosity means your hair cuticles are tight and they're flat, and water and products will sit on the top of your hair before slowly absorbing. So you need to have light, watery products, and you can use heat like a steamer or a warm towel to open up the cuticle. Medium porosity. Your hair cuticles are slightly raised. It absorbs moisture well and holds it. And so you need a balance of moisture and light oils and butters, the most flexible type. Then there's high porosity like me. The cuticles are wide open, so the hair absorbs the water very fast and the product very fast, but it loses it just as quick. So we need heavy creams and butters and sealing oils to lock in hydration. Here's one topic that we don't talk about a lot, and it's density. So I'm going to break it down for you. Density is how many strands you have on your scalp, not how thick your strands are. We either have high density or low density. High density means lots of hair strands that are close together, and then low density means you have fewer strands, but your scalp is more visible. Why does it even matter? Density matters because it determines how much product to use and what styles will look fuller or lighter. So now we're going to move into something I think that's really important for all of us, our wash day routines. And I know some of us feel like wash day is such a strain, it's frustrating, but I found my wash day to be really amazing and very joyful, and I want to walk through mine with you. Keep in mind, I am coily and I have high porosity. So my routine typically is I start off with a pre-wash, then I have my cleanse, then I condition, and then I moisturize. And so I wanted to sort of break down all of these for you so that you could see what these are. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is the way that I choose to begin my wash day. My wash day always starts off with manifestations and music. I got to have some music and jamming. And here's my manifestation. I was born for this. My crown, my story, my business thrives in perfect alignment. You can choose one for yourself, and you always want to have it, right? So my pre-wash, I always use aloe vera, and I also use it because it hydrates, it soothes my scalp, and is really great for my coils. So I divide it into 4. I go ahead and put the aloe vera on it, and I also spray my water. Water is game-changing for coily hair. Water is game-changing for you too. I always say in my live events that it's so important that we use water for 3 reasons. Water helps our body and our face and our hair. So it's so important to do that. The next step is I cleanse. When I cleanse, I always use a sulfate-free shampoo because it removes the buildup without stripping my hair. The third step is that I like to use a leave-in conditioner. A leave-in conditioner softens my hair, it softens it, it preps it for the moisture. And that's why it's important that I, as a coily girl and high porosity, have a leave-in conditioner. Next, I moisturize my hair. I always do a water-based product first, which is my leave-in, and then I seal it with Jamaican black castor oil. Now, there are other products I can use too, but I really like Jamaican black castor oil because it does a great job in sealing what I need to have for my hair. So the difference between hydration and moisture. Hydrate is water. Moisturization seals it in. Hydration is water, and moisturization seals it in. I also use a steamer at the end of my wash day routine. I sit under the steamer for 30 minutes. And then I also make sure that I do that because I have high porosity hair. So it's so important that we do that. Next, we want to be able to style our hair. We're going to choose what fits your lifestyle. So for me, I love the wash and go because it's super easy, and because I have a child at home, I want to make sure that I'm able to get in and get out very quickly. But I do like my twist, and I can do that too. So I have my lookbook that has all of that. You also want to have protective styles, right? Sometimes I like to wrap my hair, in the daytime with my cloth. And I'll use that sometimes during the week when I feel like I want to protect my hair. But there are many ways you can protect your hair with the styles that you choose. It really depends on your personality and what you want to have for your hair. So next, we want to look at our maintenance. It's so important that we do 3 things to maintain our hair. If we can take care of our cars in the same way, take care of our bodies in the same way, we can do the same thing with our hair. So you want to do 3 things. You want to make sure you massage your scalp, use protein treatments, and get regular trims. So for me, my scalp massages are 3 times a week. And to do this, I always take my fingers only and I just stimulate my hair. I don't use my fingernails, but you're rubbing your hair and rubbing your scalp, right? Rubbing your scalp to make sure that you get it in. And I've got videos on this on my YouTube channel if you want to see how that works. Protein treatments are really good for strength. If you notice that your hair is breaking, it means you need protein. So I use protein treatments monthly for my hair, and I love it. And I can tell the huge difference that it makes in my hair as well. And then finally, I do my trims. I do my trims every 6 weeks because I want to make sure I prevent breakage. So those are 3 things you want to do for your maintenance. It's keeping up your hair, making sure that you have a game plan. I want to speak to my Graylistas out there, to my Graylistas. Now, I, again, have gray hair early. And so therefore, my gray hair did not necessarily represent my age, but I had to learn how to take care of gray hair because it was important. Gray hair tends to be naturally drier, so we have to hydrate often and seal it in every single wash and avoid heat when styling. So I don't use some of the things anyway, but what I do is I spray my hair every day and night with my spray bottle of water. And again, I make sure I use the same method when I wash, of course. And here's a DIY recipe for dry hair. Get 1 cup of aloe vera juice, 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, 1 teaspoon of glycerin, and mix it for daily hydration. But again, you actually can just use water, spray water on your hair, and that will work as well. I want to give you a manifestation to close out this masterclass. I attract and I align what my gift that God has given me through my hair. I attract and align opportunities and what God has given me through my hair. So here is where I want you to take your next steps. I want you to grab a copy